This is the room where I say what others won't. Welcome to another episode of Thailand Truth Talks. I started this channel to pull back the curtain on scams, shady setups, and the small lies that cost people everything. I'll share raw, evidence-backed stories, mine and others, so you can spot the patterns before they catch you. I've seen the damage unjust behavior does, and I refuse to look the other way. If you hate being ripped off, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. Drop a comment if you've been burned. I read them all. Stay with me. Every episode is a warning, a lesson, and a way to fight back. I never imagined that one day I would be speaking to a camera. I'm supposed to be the one behind the lens, quietly guiding others through the maze. But today, I turned the lens on myself. For years, I've hidden in the shadows of Thai immigration halls, satellite photo centers, and cheap guest houses. But today I'm breaking my own rules. For the first time since creating this channel, I'm turning the camera on myself. Not my face, never my face, but my story. The real story behind every investigation, every warning, every sleepless night I've spent documenting the truth that could destroy me. My name doesn't matter. What matters is why I'm here. In this cramped apartment, risking my visa, my safety, and my sanity to tell you things that powerful people don't want you to know. I started this channel to pull back the curtain on scams, shady setups, and the small lies that cost people everything. I've shared raw, evidence-backed stories, so you can spot the patterns before they catch you. But I never told you why. Until now. I'm not who you think I am. I'm not some famous whistleblower with diplomatic immunity. I'm not an angry activist with nothing to lose. I'm not seeking revenge against some personal enemy. I'm simply an expat with 2 master's degrees, one from a prestigious European university, another from a top Asian institution, who has known the weight of an empty wallet more times than my educated background would suggest. I learned logistics and crisis analysis working for a Western government agency. I taught language and entrepreneurship in classrooms stretching from Korea to South America. I've volunteered for years on rural development projects in villages so remote they don't appear on Google Maps. I speak 5 languages fluently and can recite bureaucratic procedures from memory like other people recite song lyrics. But here's what those credentials didn't prepare me for. I am the guy who once shared a bed in a crowded dormitory in China, working for free because I believed in the mission. I'm the analyst who pored over supply chain spreadsheets in a Western capital, knowing that my decisions could either save or destroy entire communities' livelihoods. I'm the volunteer who taught Mandarin to farmers in a village in the Amazons where electricity came on for 3 hours a day, motivating them to build businesses, using languages I had to learn from them. All those experiences gave me tools, research skills, patience, cultural adaptability, linguistic bridges, but they gave me no immunity from hardship. Even with my fancy degrees and government clearance, I've stood in those soul-crushing lines outside Thai immigration offices, understanding how little money I had and if I had enough to remain in Thailand. As one Redditor perfectly captured it, Thailand is amazing if you have money. I've heard that sentiment echo through every expat community, every visa run, every desperate conversation in embassy waiting rooms. It's brutal in its simplicity, and it's absolutely true. If you arrive with a fat bank account or a sponsor who doesn't ask uncomfortable questions, Thailand opens like a flower. The smiles are genuine. The red tape dissolves. The problems solve themselves. But if you come with hope, determination, and a modest budget, then life here becomes like walking a tightrope suspended over a pit filled with bureaucratic vipers, each one waiting for your first misstep. I moved to Thailand exactly 10 months ago, carrying nothing but a backpack and a dream that now feels almost laughably naive. I was exhausted, soul-deep tired, from Western bureaucracy, from the endless paperwork cycles of my government job, from watching colleagues take corrupt shortcuts that I could never stomach. In my imagination, Thailand was going to be my reset button. I pictured myself on quiet beaches, eating simple food, living simply, with the peaceful knowledge that if I just kept my head down and followed the rules, I could finally breathe again. I sold everything I owned. My furniture, my books, my TV, and bought a one-way ticket to what I thought would be my freedom. But the moment I stepped off that plane at Suvarnabhumi airport, I realized something I hadn't anticipated. Every problem I thought I was escaping had been waiting for me at the immigration counter, wearing a Thai government uniform and speaking perfect English. Let me tell you about something most tourists never see coming. In May 2025, as discussed in a previous video, Thailand introduced what they call the Thailand Digital Arrival Card, TDAC for short. Every single foreigner must submit a digital form before landing. Passport information, health data, accommodation details, a biometric selfie photo. They market it as simplifying immigration and improving national security through advanced biometric checks. But I've come to understand it for what it really is. A digital net designed to catch every minor mistake and trap anyone who can't afford to jump through increasingly expensive hoops. I've witnessed this net in action. I've watched friends disappear under these rules like they never existed. Let me tell you about someone I'll call David, a man who taught English at a respected Thai university for 3 years. He was summoned by an immigration officer for what they called a routine compliance check. The officer asked him to write the Thai alphabet. When David couldn't remember every single character perfectly, the officer looked him dead in the eye and said, "Come back when you have money to give us. Not a fine, not a fee, money to give." David refused, on principle, because he'd spent years following every rule, paying every legitimate charge, contributing to Thai society through education. His refusal to pay what was obviously a bribe triggered something in their system. They revoked his visa on the spot, not in weeks, not pending appeal, immediately. He was escorted to Bangkok Suvarnabhumi back room, the place they don't show you in the tourism videos, and put him on a flight out the next morning. His condo lease was still active. His students were expecting him in class. His cat was waiting for dinner. His entire life in Thailand was erased in a single conversation with one corrupt officer. I don't know where David ended up, but I know he left with nothing but a stack of unpaid bills and the echo of that officer's voice. Come back when you have money to give. The Thai embassy website states it clearly. Overstay more than 90 days and face deportation plus a re-entry ban. But what they don't advertise is how arbitrary these rules become when you can't pay the unofficial taxes. You're always one misunderstood form, one missing stamp, one refusal to pay a bribe away from complete exile. Away from losing everything you tried to build here. Every night, my inbox fills with the same heartbreak told in different languages. An investment that revealed itself as a Ponzi scheme. A romance that was actually an elaborate Lonely Hearts trap. A Thai business partnership that vanished overnight with a retiree's entire pension fund. These aren't urban legends or clickbait horror stories. Siam Legal's Thailand Law Library documents exactly how these predators operate. They cultivate relationships with victims under false pretenses, specifically targeting foreigners who are emotionally vulnerable, financially naive, or just desperately hungry for human connection. The methodology is sickeningly efficient. They build trust fast, sometimes over weeks, sometimes over months, through carefully crafted conversations, shared meals, intimate moments, promises of partnership or love. Then comes the ask that sounds completely legitimate. My mother needs emergency surgery. Can you lend $500? Or, this investment opportunity closes tomorrow. We need to move 20,000 USD immediately. After money transfers, you witness the withdrawal of affection, the sudden coldness, the blocked phone numbers and deleted social media profiles. Victims are left with what researchers clinically describe as shame, loneliness, anxiety, and severe loss of trust. But that doesn't capture the raw devastation of realizing that everything you thought was real was just an expensive performance. To understand the scale, as previously reported in another video, Thailand recorded 168 million scam calls and messages last year alone, a staggering 112% increase in just 12 months. Mobile security apps counted nearly 130 million scam texts and 38 million fraudulent calls. Every ring is someone's potential nightmare. A criminal pretending to be a delivery driver, a government official, a bank representative, or, worst of all, someone pretending to love you while calculating exactly how much they can steal. I walked through entire neighborhoods of empty condominiums that were once filled with laughter, retirement dreams, and the hope of starting over. Fixed income retirees, teaching couples planning modest savings accounts, small business owners who thought they'd found paradise, all gone, vanished like morning mist. A friend showed me his abandoned unit last month. The refrigerator unplugged, half the light bulbs removed, Furniture covered in dust sheets like someone had packed up their soul and left everything else behind. The only thing on his door was an eviction notice and a visa overstay penalty that banned him from re-entering Thailand for a full year. His crime? Trusting the wrong person with his retirement fund and then being unable to afford the visa renewal fees. He disappeared without leaving a forwarding address. Like David, like dozens of others I've watched fall through the cracks. Meanwhile, the surveillance infrastructure keeps evolving. Thailand now operates a centralized biometric system that creates a permanent digital fingerprint every time we cross any border. They track visa runs so precisely that doing them too frequently automatically triggers red flags in their system. They joke about having a digital eye watching us. But I feel that electronic gaze on my neck every time I stand in an immigration line. Each stamp in my passport creates data. Each digital arrival card tells them exactly where I went, who I met, and how long I stayed. They call it security. I call it a cage with invisible bars. I'm not telling you this story to beg for sympathy, but I want you to understand the cost of running this YouTube channel. The weight of being the person who speaks uncomfortable truths. I've had moments when rage burned so hot inside me that I almost convinced myself to quit, to delete every video, every investigation, every warning I've ever posted. I remember one specific night, sitting on the floor of this same apartment at 2 a.m., my face lit only by laptop glow, asking myself, what am I actually doing? Am I that naive? Have I lost my mind? Doubt ate me like acid. I thought about the comfortable life I'd abandoned. A secure Western government position I could have kept with my eyes closed. A pension, health insurance, respect, stability. I could have stayed safe behind my desk, optimizing supply chains and writing reports that 3 people would read. But something else kept me awake that night. Something stronger than doubt or fear or even common sense. My channel started from a sense of responsibility, not as a crusade born from bitterness. It began 6 months ago when I posted my first video anonymously. I sat in this same dingy room, camera pointed at an unmade bed, my face hidden in shadows. I just told a story. Not even my own story, but someone else's tragedy that I'd witnessed firsthand. I'd always loved investigative work, the satisfaction of uncovering truth, the possibility of preventing others from making painful mistakes. I thought maybe I could illuminate one small dark corner of Thailand's expat experience with facts, evidence, and honest reporting. But I kept my identity completely hidden. Every episode comes from combining what I learned in my academic and government career with what I've experienced and witnessed on Thailand's streets. My training in research methodology and data analysis taught me to question official narratives. My failures and losses taught me to listen to people too afraid to speak publicly. I've risked my visa status to conduct interviews in cramped Thai offices. I've risked my physical safety researching scammer networks and encrypted chat rooms and anonymous forums. I still remember my heart pounding the first time I posed as a naive tourist to document what actually happens at certain visa checkpoints. My academic credentials gave me research skills and analytical credibility. But it was my scars, Those long nights spent mourning lost friends and the lost versions of myself that gave me the urgency to speak out. This channel was never about revenge or getting rich from YouTube ad revenue. It began with a simple desire to seek truth, to learn from collective experiences, and to help others avoid the traps I'd watched destroy too many good people. It's not comfortable being the person everyone wishes would just shut up and stop making waves. People accuse me of being negative, paranoid, or destroying Thailand's reputation. A Reddit user recently called one of my exposés clickbait nonsense designed to scare tourists. The comments on some videos are brutal. I've been called everything from a failed expat with a grudge to much worse things I won't repeat. But then someone will message me privately. Your video about visa scams saved me $5,000. Or I recognized the romance fraud pattern you described and got out before losing my pension. Or simply, thank you for saying what everyone was thinking, but was afraid to admit. Those messages remind me why I do this work. Here's what keeps me going. Thailand isn't going to solve these problems for us. Every empty condominium, every denied visa, every stolen baht, every broken heart, those are warning signs in a system designed to separate vulnerable foreigners from their money, their hope, and their dignity. These aren't isolated incidents or bad luck stories. They're patterns, systematic exploitation that thrives on silence, shame, and the desperation of people who just want to build a life somewhere beautiful. The new biometric systems, the increasingly complex visa requirements, the rise in sophisticated scams, these aren't random developments. They're interconnected parts of an infrastructure that profits from expat desperation while maintaining plausible deniability. I document these patterns because every silence left unbroken becomes the echo of someone else's loss. I speak out so the next person won't have to feel like they did something wrong just for trying to live here with dignity. What most people don't realize is that there are others like me, anonymous observers, careful documentarians, expats who've learned to navigate these systems while protecting others. We share information through encrypted channels. We verify each other's stories. We watch each other's backs. Some are former government employees like myself. Others are retired business professionals, journalists, teachers, even former scam victims who've turned their pain into purpose. We're not organized in any formal way, but we're connected by a shared understanding. Someone has to bear witness. We trade intelligence about which immigration offices to avoid, which investment schemes are currently targeting foreigners, which romance scammers are active on which dating apps. We document patterns that individual victims can't see because they're too close to their own pain. This network exists because official channels have failed us. The embassy staff who tell you to be more careful next time. The police who won't investigate foreign victim cases. The tourism authorities who treat every complaint as a threat to their industry. So we became our own early warning system. I'm recording this confession, walking through Bangkok's rain-soaked streets. My voice, the only witness to what I'm about to tell you. In a few hours, this video will reach thousands of people. A torch passed from one nameless guardian of truth to countless others. I know many of you watching this feel just as invisible as I do. Maybe you've survived a scam, lived through visa terror, endured betrayal, and you're nursing anger and shame in private. To you, I say, your experience matters, your voice matters, your vigilance matters. The problems I document aren't going away. If anything, they're getting more sophisticated, more systematic, more dangerous. The digital surveillance infrastructure is expanding. The scammer networks are evolving. The unofficial taxation system is becoming more entrenched. But something else is happening too. People are waking up. They're asking harder questions, sharing information more freely, refusing to accept that getting ripped off is just part of the Thailand experience. To the wary expats who are one mistake away from ruin, this torch is for you. We hold it for each other. Keep asking questions that make people uncomfortable. Keep sharing what you learn, even if it makes you unpopular. Keep watching each other's backs, because the official systems won't. Document what you see. Verify what you hear. Trust, but always, always verify. Thailand is changing. Some of it for the better. Much of it still unfairly rigged against ordinary foreigners who just want to live decent lives. I didn't start this channel because I had all the answers. I started it because I needed answers too, and I realized that finding them alone was impossible. I do this for the unheard voices, the misled dreamers, the betrayed romantics, and anyone who still believes Thailand can be fairer than our worst fears. The fight for truth isn't over, and neither is our chance to make things right. For everyone still trying to belong in this beautiful, complicated, sometimes cruel country, stay alert, stay kind, and watch out for one another. The man behind Thailand Truth Talks will remain anonymous. But the truth belongs to all of us. Keep asking questions. Keep sharing stories. Keep fighting for fairness. Until next time, this is Thailand Truth Talks. Stay vigilant. If you've been helped by this channel, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. Drop a comment about your own experiences. I read them all. And remember, every warning shared is another person protected. We're stronger when we're watching out for each other. Thank you.